so he's ugly, but he makes his own clothes. You stole your name.
If I don't need to be up here, I can leave.
We'll have comments from Coach Williams, and then we'll hear from Luke May and Cameron Johnson, and then, of course, we'll take your questions. And, again, please direct them specifically to the player that you would like to respond. If you want both, then ask to start with one, and we'll start with the opening comments from Coach Williams.
Okay, I think needless to say, anybody that advances past this point, you feel very good about a win on the second round. Last year, we had a really, really nice year in the second round. We stumbled, and we talked about it quite a bit this summer, and I think the kids were really good at times today. 10 turnovers in the first half was very discouraging, but other than that, I thought we did some really good things in the first half. Second half, we got it down to only 5 turnovers and still shot 50%. I think that was good. Our work on the backboards was something. Luke, 14 rebounds to go along with his 20 points. I think Nasir gave us a big lift, and I think 2 kids really showed a lot of toughness today. Garrison, he's going to have to go to see the dentist before we leave town to get some teeth straightened out, and he had some stitches put in, and he came back and played almost the entire second half. And Kenny, strained his hamstring and came back and tried to guard like crazy when he got in there. And love our toughness, love the edge that the bench gave us today, and just love the way we kept competing, and happy as we can be that we're still here, really happy with these 2 guys up here beside me.
All right, we'll take some questions now for our players, and then we'll get some for Coach Williams following. We have questions to start with our players. Go ahead.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal. Cameron, and then Luke, you can answer too. What makes you guys so effective at attacking the zone? I mean, this is not the first time you guys have played really well against that.
The key today was getting the ball to the middle. The middle was a soft spot, and they were covering the wings and the perimeter pretty well. And once we got it inside, it was basically a 2-on-1 for an easy jump shot or dump down. And I think we exploited that a lot more in the second half than we did the first half.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the biggest thing for us was trying to score in a different variety of ways, and I think we scored inside. We were able to score out in transition. Kobe did an unbelievable job pushing the ball, and it really allowed us to get out and run. And then offensive glass was really big for us. Coach emphasized it a lot coming into the game, and I thought we did a good job. Garrison had a few big rebounds. Nas did a great job off the bench. Nas was great. When you throw it to Nas in the middle and he just elevates over everybody, it allows it to be a pretty effective zone offense.
Greg Barnes in South Carolina. For both players, second game in a row, you were much better defensively, it seemed like, in the second half. Is that a matter of kind of filling out the opponent in first half? Is it a matter of the urgency that you guys talked about Friday night? What would you attribute that to?
I'd say a lot of it has to do with the urgency. I feel like when we're defending the way we're capable of, we do a pretty good job. When we lose focus, when we lose urgency, we don't do as well. I think we did a better job in the second half today.
I don't want to give Coach too much credit, but I think when Coach gets on us, it's at halftime, it really fires us up a little bit, and I think it really makes us want to guard better for him, and it just shows how much our coaching staff cares about us and cares about how much they want us to win, and we got to bring that from the jump, and that's coming from the senior leaders, and I take that upon myself and Cam and Kenny, but I think second half we did a lot better job, and it was big for us.
You sure you don't want to give Coach Williams more credit?
He's fine.
They change when they're seniors. Go ahead.
Mark Herman from Newsday of New York. Cam, at the risk of embarrassing him, could you just explain what Luke's development has been like since you've been in this program?
I saw it when I first stepped on the campus for my visit. When he was playing pickup, he was playing with a lot of confidence. And that confidence, as you keep playing, you keep getting the experience, you just keep getting better and better and better. So the Luke I saw when I was playing at Pitt versus Luke I saw in pickup that day versus Luke we see today, you just see a lot of growth. And the kid works hard. He is in the gym all the time getting extra shots, and he plays harder than just about anybody. He works harder than just about anybody, and that's a testament to his character.
And when you're as old as Cam is, you can call Luke May a kid.
Got you.
Yeah.
go ahead here in the second row.
Hey, Luke, maybe you can speak for yourself. What's it meant to you, your career, your growth, and to be in this position now?
It's been huge. I mean, I give a lot of it to my teammates just because of how much they've believed in me and getting me in the right spots, and then the coaches have believed in me since the very beginning, and it's really been great to have such a great coaching staff to really give me the opportunities I had early in my career. Coach always said that he believed in me from the beginning, and he gave me opportunities when I didn't even think I wanted the opportunities. And it was big for me to continue to grow and develop as a player, and I thought today it was a great win for us, and move on to Sweet 16.
Holt McKeithen, Daily Tar Heel. Luke and Cam, after the loss last year to Texas A&M in the second round, how does it feel to be in the Sweet 16?
We talked about it all summer. To lose that way and to have Joel and Theo go out like that was really hard, especially for the guys who felt like it was on us. And I mean, I feel like it's just a testament to how hard we've worked and get back to this spot. And I think it's been great to see how many guys have grown this season and really stepped up. And I mean, B-Rob gave us great minutes today when Kenny went down. And I mean, Garrison came back like Coach talked about. I mean, it was just huge for us. And I think it really shows how much character we have in that locker room.
Agreed.
Last question for our players.
Luke, you guys are ranked #1 in the country in rebounding margin. I believe they came in at 289. Did you kind of feel like you could kind of exploit them on the boards? And what did you do to take full advantage of that today?
Yes, it was in our scouting report who take advantage of them on offensive glass, and defensively we just got a box out. I had a couple missed box outs, and I'll take the blame for that one later. But I think it's just big that Coach emphasized rebounding first summer practice, and I try to pride myself on working hard and trying to get as many offensive rebounds as I can. I think Garrison's done a great job, and so has Cam and Nas. I think it's been great to see how much they've grown offensively and defensively rebounding-wise.
Congratulations to both, and continued success down the road. Welcome to Sweet 16. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark.
Good job.
Questions for Coach Williams, please.
Good job, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
23-year-old guy.
Go ahead.
Roy, 2 games in a row now that Nasir has really seemed to embrace kind of getting the ball in the middle and really attacking the rim. Is that a matter of maturation for him? Is that a conversation you guys have had, maybe?
You know, it's a little bit of his maturing, but, you know, he was really coming along really, really well. And then he got his ankle hurt, and then he got hit in the face. I mean, you know, it's in the eye, excuse me. And those kind of things set him back quite a bit. But he is such a gifted guy around that basket, so quick, jumps so high, that I think he himself is realizing it more now than he did early in the practices and early in the games. I mean, I was very happy when he went up to shoot that 3 right in front of our bench, because it was a shot that everybody wanted to take, and we've seen him make those, and he's worked extremely hard on his shot. But he has an ability to get around that basket, and with the jumping ability and the quickness that he has, the power that he has, he can hurt a lot of people inside. So it's a little bit of maturing, but it's also him getting healthy again, because I really thought during that time period that he was going to really take off, and he had about a 4 or 5 game stretch, maybe more or less, I don't know, that he wasn't as effective. But the last 2 games, he's been something else for us.
Coach, it seems like with the popularity of the three-pointer gaining each year, that some teams lose a mid-range game. They either dunk or hit a 3. Is Luke leading the revival of that in the game?
Well, all our guys, I tell them all the time that I want great balance. I want to shoot the 3-point shot by guys who can make them. And I want to get the ball inside, because you get the other team in foul trouble. We wanted to get Dickerson in foul trouble today, and we weren't able to do that. We were able to get this big guy in foul trouble yesterday. So I like balance. It's 3-point shots and baskets sends our ball shots, inside to get the other team in foul trouble. And Luke May can make it from 12 feet and 14 feet, and he shoots a higher percentage there than he does from 3-point line. So I like those. I like makers. But our team was very unselfish today. And after, as I said, the turnovers in the first half, I really liked what we did with the basketball too.
Go ahead, right here.
Coach, congratulations on getting to the Sweet 16. I know it's early, but can you kind of assess where you guys kind of fit in, some of the challenges you anticipate you may face?
Yeah, I could, but I really haven't thought about that. I swear, guys, nobody in the history of basketball has ever just played one game and then started thinking about the other, and after that's over with, as much as I do. I know who we play next, and I know who – no, I don't. I know who we play next, and I know where that is, and that's about it, because I really do try to live in the moment and coach that game, and I'm very pleased with what we've done to get to this stage. I told the guys Marty Schottenheimer is coaching at Kansas City, always talked about enjoying the wins until midnight. In the locker room, I asked them, do we play Thursday, Saturday, or we play Friday, Sunday? And they said Friday, Sunday, and I said maybe we'll enjoy this one a little past midnight. But that's all it's going to be. And for us, we're extremely happy to be where we are, but at the same time, we just going to enjoy this one, and then we'll start focusing on Auburn, I guess, who's the next team that we play.
Well, maybe you can speak to as far as what kind of growth you've seen over the past 2 games, what in particular has gotten better, what needs to get better.
Well, you know, we got our tails beat at is Kaysen back there? Okay. That's my boss back there. She's been my boss for 46 years, and my grandson's waiting on me, so we'll get this done quickly. Throughout the course of the second half of the season, I really think we got better and better and better. And our teams, a lot of our teams have done that because they really focus, and our staff really pushes. We don't just get too high over a big win or way down over a loss. We try to get better every single day, and I think if you talk to our team, they'd tell you that's the focus. And we have gotten better, but so is Auburn, so is some of these other teams that are going to be playing. But I do like how our kids have focused down the stretch and gotten better every game.
Coach, Luke had 20 today and seemed to be thriving in the middle of that zone. Can you talk about what he was able to do so well against this defense?
Well, it's the same thing he said. We've played against Syracuse's zone. We've had some good success, but they've beaten our tails sometimes too. But I don't mind the other team playing zone. I don't mind. I don't care what they play because we're so much freelance. We don't run a ton of set plays, so we really don't care what what defense they run. And we move yourself and move the ball intelligently and try to find the holes. And we've had some success, but we know we got to do it again next week.
Just to follow up on that, what Luke was saying before, that you believed in him from the beginning. What was it about him that made you believe in him?
I knew his father as a great individual when he was in school and a quarterback for us. He comes to our camp, and I'm going to miss the years, maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, something like that, 9th grade, and I kept telling his dad, don't be in a big hurry because I think he's going to be good enough. And the thing with me is he had great hands, and he could shoot the ball, and a brain that he used, and a work ethic. So I'll take all those qualities all the time. But I did have confidence in him and faith in him, and I still do, and I hope to do it for a long time.
Coach, I'm sorry if this has already been asked, but how did Kobe's 3-pointers there, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first half, kind of spark that offense? One from the corner was very deep fadeaway there.
Yeah, it was a bad shot, but it went in, so all of a sudden it's a great shot. But Kobe has an ability to score. They were trying to cover him. They were trying to have somebody in front of him the whole game, and he picked his spots, and I thought really did a nice job for us. Didn't have many opportunities in the second half because they tried to cover him more, but he was really good.
Last question for Coach.
Nancy Armour, USA Today. Royce, apologize if you've been asked this before, but 2 years ago, Luke was really important to you guys making the title run. What he did tonight, and even the impact he had in the second half Friday night, how good does that make you feel, and how important is that going to be going forward?
Well, Nancy, I agree with you. A couple of years ago, he's the MVP of the regional and he does score a field goal at the Final Four, but he was really important to us. And last year, maybe as good a year as I've ever had a kid, from sophomore to junior year, the biggest jump that he had. He's an intelligent young man. He finds the holes in his zone really well, knows how important rebounding is, and just his game to try to be a great rebounder. Because you look at him, you don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to get 14, 16 rebounds against really good competition. So I say it's his intelligence and his desire more than anything, but he's just a remarkable young man that I'm very, very lucky to coach. And I will tell you, you and I are okay for another year. No, if you want to try to jinx me next year, I know you didn't try to. That's not what I'm saying. But I showed the arc. My wife, she even laughed because you did say that I was smiling when I said that. But thank you, guys. I'm going to go see my little grandson.
On your way to your 19th, Sweet 16. Congratulations. We're ready for the Huskies of Washington with Coach Hopkins, and Matisse Thibel is also with us, as well as Jason Noel, and we will take Jalen Noel, I apologize. We will take your questions for the players following Coach Hopkins' opening statement. Thank you.
Ready? All right. You know, you get a chance to play Carolina. It's a pretty incredible opportunity, and I felt in the first half, you know, we got down, we kept fighting back, showed a lot of resiliency, cut the lead to 8, missed a couple foul shots at the end, and Kobe White, 4 for 5 from the three-point line the first half. We felt like in the second half, if we could find him, do a better job on the glass, we could be there. And, you know, they just really big team, really good shooting team. It seemed like when they missed, they got the rebound. And you're not going to win too many games getting out-rebounded by 24. But our kids kept fighting. They battled like champions like they are. And unfortunately, we ran into a tough Carolina team tonight.
Go ahead with questions for our players, please.
Matisse, how would you summarize your final season at Washington?
I mean, for me, like everyone's goal when you come into college, like you want to play on this stage and be able to win your league, be able to say you're a champion, all those things. And I was able to accomplish all that this year with 3 seniors, 3 of my senior teammates who we've been through it all together. And even with these new guys like Jalen and the young guys, like to be able to bond together and achieve so much in my last year, I couldn't have imagined it coming through, and I'm glad I was able to do it with these guys.
Coach, when you're up against
let's take questions for our players first, and
okay,
then we'll finish with them and take questions for our coach. Thanks.
Jalen, for you, you've played some good teams, other tournament teams this season, including #1 Gonzaga. Could you compare and contrast North Carolina with what you've seen from other top teams?
Well, they're all really good teams. They all play very hard. One thing I can say about North Carolina is that they're really resilient. When we were up on them, I got to give them credit. They kept playing and they kept going at us, and you know they're a really good team. You know?
Matisse, did you feel like there was a lot going on behind you for an inordinate amount of time on defense?
I mean, we flew around for the most part on defense and had some pretty good energy, but like Coach said, the rebounding killed us. And they're a big team, a strong team, physical team, and we weren't able to get back and grab a lot of those rebounds from the missed shots that we forced.
Jalen, you had everyone on the team seemed like, especially in the second half, had some very good looks, and then things just didn't go for a roll.
Yeah, you know that's just how the game goes sometimes. So, you know, we just try to make sure that even though those shots were falling, we were able to pick it up, at least on the defensive end, and that was really our main focus when our shots weren't falling.
Thank you both for your time and a tremendous effort in the 2 games here. Has been great for us to get a chance to watch, and we look forward to seeing what you both do down the road. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our question is now for Coach Hopkins. Go ahead.
Coach, you obviously accomplished a whole lot in 2 years. I realize that this is a disappointing conclusion, but how do you assess now what was done and what you've got to do?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you see what the best looks like, feels like, and Carolina's got a lot. They got great guard play, they got great size, they got great shooting. They're physical, they're big, and you saw what it felt like. Sometimes, you know, our best offense is a smaller team, and you know, you see the size that you got to have to get to be a top-level program, and that's our goal, that's our standard, that's what we're going to try to do. And you know, it was learned a lot tonight. You know, I think it was great for everybody. You know, as we always say, it doesn't matter, get better, DMGB. At the end of the day, we're frustrated that we lost, but really proud of the guys winning 29 games, winning the Pac-12 outright by 3 games, and played some really tough competition, got into the tournament, which was a major goal for this program, and to win a game,
Unfortunately, we didn't play our best tonight, but that had a lot to do with North Carolina. And the younger guys got some minutes, and they got a chance to feel what this is all about. And that's, I think, the greatest thing that could happen for our program as we build forward, is to feel it, see it, and experience it, because that's a feeling playing in this tournament like no other in this sport, and it's what you want every year. And so to be able to experience it with the young guys as well as what the seniors have accomplished, I'm really, really proud.
What's the biggest positive you can take out of this experience with the whole tournament and everything?
The positive is, we're trying to build a program, and when you're building a program, you gotta, you get a lot through experience, and to be able to win a game and to feel it. Sometimes, you walk out on that court and that stage is pretty big. And, I've seen it a lot, but our guys haven't, and it's a pretty cool thing. And I've learned so many things, but the most important was for our guys to understand what it takes to get to this level, and then what it's going to take to win a national championship. And, there's nothing like experience, and this experience is definitely going to elevate and push us forward.
Coach, Noah was particularly impressed by how Carolina handled your guys' zone. What did you see out there in terms of execution on their end, and how much do you think them seeing it against Syracuse?
Well, I think the biggest thing is our zone is active. It's been great all year. I think the biggest thing is when you're talking about like size. You talk about Syracuse at 6'6", 6'6" at the guards, and it's 7'1", and guys holding hands from sideline to sideline. And that's why I give our guys a lot of credit when we have Dickerson in the game. Noah, he's 6'6", 6'7", and you got Jalen at 6'3" in the back line, and it can be disruptive. We still had 12 takeaways, which was really good. But the rebounding aspect of it was just a little bit too overwhelming. And you got to pick your poison. You can't defend everything. And so when they started making those threes with Kobe White and them, it kind of pushed us out a little bit. And then when they got inside, those guys are pretty darn good. So it's just one of those nights. They're one of the best teams in the country. We got to experience it. We didn't have our best game. I thought, at the beginning of the second half, we hit the three to cut it to 5, and we didn't get back, and that's what they're known for is their transition. They hit a 3. So every time we kind of swung and hit them a little bit, they came back with a haymaker. And but a great learning experience for our guys.
Coach, you mentioned when they got it inside. Just talk a little bit about Little and May. 20 points each, and most of it was just getting it right there in the lane and being able to do something with it.
Yeah, you know what? They remind me of the Zags a lot, Gonzaga. They've got really good big guys that are great interior passers, and guys that can operate in that high post area. And it's a hard cover for us. It's a hard matchup. I thought they got us everywhere. They got us in the high post. They got us on the 3. They got to the foul line. And unfortunately, I thought we got some good looks. We just had one of those shooting nights. When you play against a team like this, almost everything has to go right, and yet you don't have a large margin for error, and we just didn't have enough.
Their transition after made baskets was, I guess, borderline astonishing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you talked all about it yesterday. Why is that so hard to coach against?
Well, and like I said before, the great thing about experiencing this, we played Kansas last year, who runs pretty good, not like this. Played Gonzaga, who I really think pushes the ball. It's just one of those things. We had Noah playing the forward, so it was a little bit different. So we're going inside to him, and Hamir's playing the center. So the one was just a defensive breakdown the first play, the second half, for the second play. He ran down the middle, and Noah had scored foul, and they just sprinted down. We didn't recognize and help the guy who had fell. But it's something that we emphasize going in. When you play Carolina, it's very simple: transition defense and defensive rebound. And we did a decent. The fast break points are off here because it was 4 at halftime, and they hit the 3, and then Kobe went all the way for a layup. So there was more opportunities, but that's what they do, and we just didn't do a great job in those 2 areas.
Well, selfishly, it's been great for us to get a chance to see you for couple of games in a different part of the country, and we appreciate your team, appreciate your coaching staff very much, and our thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor to be a part of this tournament, and thank you for covering us, and you'll see more of us. This isn't the last time.
See you down the road.
All right, thank you.